Imagine a job that could make you say, boy, I'm glad it's Monday. Well, Dan Miller has coached thousands of people into fulfilling work, and he's written a great book called 48 Days to the Work You Love. Dan, it's great to have you. You're welcome.
We love that. Look at how
Isn't that a great cover? Look at this.
Can you see this? Isn't that great?
You know, it's a clean, clear-cut book that makes you want to dive in and say, how do I do this?
Yeah.
Lots of people, even after they've maybe spent years studying for a particular area of work and maybe even years investing themselves in it, come up feeling empty and dissatisfied. Why are some people unhappy with the work that they do?
Well, so often those decisions are made when somebody is 17 or 18 years old. It's hard to make decisions that are going to define the rest of your life when you're that young.
Also, sometimes daddy or mommy,
oh,
they want to impress
very
them.
Often. Very often.
If daddy's a doctor, then the son has to be a doctor or a lawyer, whatever.
We have a lot of generational expectations where each generation is to be better educated and move up socioeconomically, often as a disservice to that young person. I mean, what if the son of a cardiologist is really gifted as a carpenter or as a landscaper? Are we going to help them be excellent in doing that, or are we going to superimpose what we want them to do? Thus, we see 45-year-old professionals who figure out finally they're living out somebody else's dream, not their own.
Has it always been that way? You know, I think back to my dad's generation. You know, guys came back from the Second World War. You felt lucky to have a job, you know, and and people stayed in it till they got the gold watch. But it isn't like that today. What's changed?
Well, what's happened is with that, though, we built in this myth that work is just something you have to do. And we even spiritualize it in just saying, well, it's part of the curse, so you aren't supposed to enjoy it. You just endure it. You just bite the bullet, go off to the salt mines on Mondays. That's a horrible approach to the thing that ought to be the most fulfilling part of our week and the best opportunity for providing meaning in our lives, and also for ministry. It ought to be the greatest tool for ministry that we have.
I think that everyone has an innate sense. If they really search within their own soul, what is it that makes them happy, what they can contribute to society? Don't you think everyone's got that? It's just that we don't know how to tap into it.
Absolutely. And a lot of times we're deterred, again, by just the realities of life, doing things that are practical or realistic rather than things that are really fulfilling. And we've shut that part off. We have to go back and look at that. Everybody has the ability to do a lot of things, but that's not enough to keep us going.
Well, I have been in jobs where I dread getting out of bed in the morning. Really. And like, we do love what we do. There's no question about it. I can't wait to get to work, and it's great. And I feel sorry for people who don't have that. I want everyone to feel that way.
There are too many opportunities in today's environment to settle for less. And it's not a matter of just being selfish or egotistical. It's a matter of finding a proper alignment to release God's best. And fulfilling work does that.
But Dan, what if you don't know for sure what would satisfy you? What if you don't know for sure what your area of giftedness is? I mean, sometimes you fall into what you do just through things that God leads you into. I know lots of people who are in jobs because they'd like to do something more fulfilling, but they aren't even really sure where to begin or what that would be.
Well, the process begins by looking inward. 85% of the process of having the confidence of proper direction is looking inward. We're so externally motivated, so we hear there's an opportunity here. We hear it's great to live here, and we define our lives by those external things. Need to sit down and look. That's the power of experience, where you have enough life experience to ask the right questions. How has God uniquely gifted me in terms of skills and abilities? That's important, but also personality tendencies. How do I relate to other people? What kind of environments am I most comfortable in? And then what I call values, dreams, and passions. What are those things that are recurring themes that you find yourself being drawn back to, even if money is not an issue? But by looking at those and bringing those together, there are then ways to turn that into meaningful, fulfilling work.
Also, you were saying a lot of the jobs aren't online or in the paper, so how do we find them? Where do you find these jobs that are so great?
The jobs that are online or in the paper actually represent about 12% of what's available. Yes. You have to realize most companies dread putting something in the paper because they get an avalanche of applicants. Everybody's seeking something better, so they get an avalanche. So the really good opportunities usually aren't promoted in that way. They're going to come. One thing is people simply need to target who are the potential matches for the kind of work I'd like to do. There's a chapter in there where I talk about 6 job offers in 10 days. That comes as a result of being focused in terms of what is it that I want to do, who are 30 or 40 potential companies that are targets, and then beginning the process of contacts. Again, a lot of people just simply look in the paper, well, I guess I could do this, I guess I could do that. It's very random, and it's a recipe for disaster.
Talk about the title, 48 Days to the Work You Love. What's that about?
Well, 48 days, I'm a big proponent of having a timeline. If you really want different results, what are you going to do today, tomorrow? So many people get caught up in complaining and whining. It's almost a badge in our culture to complain about your work, belittle the boss and all of that. That's ridiculous. If you want different results, what are you going to do? So we use a timeline. Now we know that in the Bible, historically, God used 40 days repeatedly as a way to change the direction of an individual, nation, country dramatically. So we're Americans. I threw in a few extra days for weekends and holidays, but 48 days is enough time to look at where you are, get the advice and opinion of other people, list the alternatives, choose the best one, and act.
You know what? It's never too late to start. That's the message I got from all of this. And you're going to want to get a hold of this book, whether you're looking to write a resume for the first time or you're in your 40s or 50s and you want something more fulfilling. This is a great book for anyone who's trying to find a fulfilling direction and get paid for it. 48 Days to the Work You Love by Dan Miller. Look for it in bookstores, or you can visit livingthelife.com. We'll tell you how to get it there. Thanks. You. What a great book.
information.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to be with you.